If you carry your firearm, know how to draw it quickly, know what your time is it takes you to do that, then this video will be very helpful for you to know what your go signal is. Hi everyone, welcome to today's research-informed defensive lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I am your host, John Correa. Every day of the year, we post a real-life use of force caught on camera, and we analyze it for lessons learned so that your training and practice can be more research-informed. Today, we have 3 lessons, all from Sao Paulo do Norte, Houston. Palm pepper spray is next generation OC spray. It's hot at 1.4% major capsaicinoids, and its modular design means you can customize it exactly to you. 3 different setups, lots of different color combinations. You can make it exactly as you like. And the flip top safety prevents accidental discharges. It's 10 to 12 foot range and 25 half-second blasts. Make sure that you can keep that long range eye poke at long range. I trust Palm OC and I recommend it for everyone for self-defense. Armed robbery number 1, gonna see the guy with a mask on and like a balaclava on actually come in with a gun in his hand and then threaten the clerk. Now, you saw the customer nope out of there, and the clerk is gonna be like, all right, man, I'm gonna get you the money out of the till. So watch our guy here, watch our robber. He is gonna kind of circle, half circle around, look at the money here in the till as the guy's trying to get the till open. Then he's gonna back up a little bit. He's going to turn, eventually kind of look out the front door. Now, it's taken our guy a long time to get the till open. And so our dude's gonna turn and look around and see, oh, okay, are there some, cigarettes or cigars that I can steal off the back wall? He's gonna grab those a little bit. Then finally, our clerk is going to eventually get the register to open up here. It's still taking him a while. And I kind of think this has taken a little extra time because I think they slowed it down a little. He finally got it open though, which makes our robber look down in there and grab the bills out of the till. Guy offers him some more, hey man, you want the rest of this? You want me to get this other one? Whatever. But our robber instead decides he is going to head out and go about his day and enjoy the spoils of his robbery. Now watch what he does beforehand though. He's gonna go right off camera and grab some snacks because, after an armed robbery, you're probably hungry a little bit. Second one, you're gonna see our guy kind of hop along here with a backpack on front of him, walk into this fast food establishment and pull the gun out of his backpack. Once he gets in there, he's gonna see that there are 2 employees here in this office right off of where the registers are. He's gonna show them the gun, and then watch, he's gonna get employee number 1 to go in front of him. Employee number 2 is gonna be behind him a little bit here. He's gonna eventually turn around and tell her to go back, in front of him as well. She does that. They are going to give him the contents of the till. He is then going to look in the till himself, take the cash out of it as he can. I think he goes off camera for a second, and then he nopes out of there as well and goes off with his spoils. Number 3, auto parts store. Guy comes in, shows, again, wearing a mask and a hood up, shows a gun to not only employees that are in the store, but a bunch of customers. Watch customers on the left there, nope out of there. Employees are gonna go back towards the back. He is going to then push all 3 of the employees that are back behind the counter towards the back, take a bunch of money, and off he goes. You might have noticed on the channel that I have changed from using the phrase evidence-based to a phrase research-informed. Did some training classes and, kind of found out that the phrase, evidence-based, you gotta be able to do actual experimentation to use that in any meaningful, technically accurate way. Whereas the idea of being research-informed is, yes, this is informed by real research, but it doesn't involve actual experimentation with actual humans, which is very difficult. So it's a more appropriate phrase for what we're doing. This is one of the reasons that I am a training junkie, so that I can learn this stuff. Our main lessons here are about the timing of counter ambushes, but I do love here that our customer nopes out of there. And I will say this, I think his first inclination that something was seriously wrong is that this guy is walking into a store with a full balaclava on. And I think there's still some remnant of people that are thinking, oh, it's okay to do this because of pandemic restrictions. That's long past. People are not wearing masks in public hardly at all anymore. If they are, it is, a surgical style mask, one of the blue masks. I haven't even seen an N95 in forever. So wearing something like this, you are simply covering your identity. Simple as that. See that as an absolute threat, as an indicator that an attack is imminent, and take steps to protect yourself. I'm not telling you till you see a gun to shoot this guy. I'm saying see that as a threat. Now, Could our bystander here, our customer, see this guy? Aha, I look, I see his hand, he's got a gun out, I know he's robbing this place. Could he draw a gun and shoot this guy? People always ask these questions. I think the answer to that is, given everything that you've seen, the guy's got a gun, he's walking into the store, he's got a balaclava on, this is a robbery for sure, an armed robbery. You probably could articulate that and stop that with deadly force. But I think what the guy did instead is probably a better answer. He just got the heck out of there. Now, I don't know if he's armed and if he could have stopped it, but even if he was, probably a safer answer for him and his, because much less chance of him getting hurt if he just does what he does and runs off. Now, I think really the rest of our lessons here are all about counter ambush opportunities, because our clerk here is doing good. Now, I'm going to assume this clerk is unarmed, but if he is armed, where are his opportunities? Remember, we talk about him showing you the back of his head, his ear, or just looking away from you, and how much time you'd have to draw your firearm. And if you know what your draw times are, you can launch a counter ambush and protect yourself. Because right here, the guy turns completely away from the clerk. He sees the clerk as not a threat at all, turns around to look at, the cigarettes or cigarillos, whatever they are down in there that he wants to take from as well. So he showed the back of his head. And if you have a 2.0 second draw to first hit, he shows you the back of his head. There's literally nothing he can do to get ahead of you for the first shot. So if you know that you can draw a firearm and get an accurate shot on an anatomically significant area in under 2 seconds, then this is your go signal. Now, if you don't know that for sure, like you haven't been there with the timer, with the accuracy standards, and you can do it on command, then you don't know when your go signal is, but now you do if you've got that information. Here, you see he shows him his ear. That's a 1.5 second draw to first shot there. So when he shows you his ear, if you know you've got a 1.5 second draw to first shot, you can get ahead of him, which is why you need to train, which is why you need to practice, which is why you need a timer, and why you need accuracy standards like an A zone at 5 or 7 yards. So you know exactly what your capabilities are. If you know what your capabilities are, then with videos like this, then you can understand what your visual go signal is. And that's critically important information for purposeful compliance for you in a real gunfight. So this is why we teach these lessons, and why lessons like this are so critically important, so that you see what your go signals are to protect yourself. Now, in this case, the guy grabs his stuff and he's gonna run off. Now here, he shows his back again. So I think if you've got a 2 second draw to first shot, you can get this guy here. And he's still using his firearm in this particular minute, in this instant, to threaten the life of the clerk and to steal money. So he's still in the midst of a armed robbery here, of an aggravated robbery. So there's not a state in the union that I think would give him a hard time here, but I do think that probably at this point, with him running away and running out of the store, probably a better, because if nobody's been hurt, no, he's not actively shooting, probably smarter to let him go, because you don't invite gunfire back your way, whereas he might shoot some rounds back your way and he might get lucky. Instead, he just decides to grab some snacks. And is that a little, humorous relief in something terrible like this? Yeah, it is. Now let's watch this next one. Now, again, ladies, this the girl who's going to be behind here is definitely, it's a couple of, I think at least one female here, I think two. Now you notice here our bad guy just shows the second one is back, and if the lady in the back here at the very top of the screen is armed, if she's got a 2 second draw to first shot, there's nothing on earth he's going to do to get ahead of her. She can put a bullet right in his back, and this is how somebody gets shot in the back in an entirely justified manner, because he's threatening everyone with a gun. He's got a gun in his hand, has said that this is a robbery, and he wants the money out of the till. So it's an armed robbery, and again, can be stopped with deadly force, should be stopped with deadly force. And if she is armed herself, so ladies, carry your firearm on your person, not in your purse, on your person, and know how to use it. Well, that passes. Eventually, she is going to get in front as well. And I'm not sure where, they are off screen, but here you notice he is looking down at the till and he has showed them his ear. So there's another 1.5 second draw to first shot. If you're faster than that on a guaranteed basis, then there's nothing this guy's going to do. Now he's going to look at that till for a lot longer than 1.5 seconds. So we know for a fact that if you got 1.5 or better, this is your go signal. You may get more time than that, but I can't promise you that. If he looks at that and looks away, so he shows you his ear, and then he might just look briefly and then look back at you, that's where 1.5 comes from. If he looks more at the till like he does here, then you've got more time. Okay, fine, then that gives you more margins for success. Now, in this third one, you notice different folks at different times have different amounts of time in order to impact this armed robbery. And I think the first one I want to talk about is the customer. So this guy comes up and he's looking down the line at all 3 of the employees who are behind the counter. But you notice we have 2 customers that are on the other side of the counter, and they could absolutely have stopped this. And what would it take? Well, you notice he's showing them his ear. So 1.5-second draw to first hit. You could absolutely stop this if you have that, or at least get the first anatomically significant hit in him. And almost always the person that gets the first anatomically significant hit wins the gunfight. It's not 100%, but it's darn near. So they could have. Now he starts getting everybody else, and now he looks back at the customers who are leaving the store, which was smart of them. That's a good choice. But look at the last employee who's got his hands up, and the guy turns completely away from him, and he's not paying any attention to that guy at all. 2-second draw to first shot, and you've got him here. So this is why we say that I think the national standard for a concealed carrier is a 2-second draw to first shot from the second that you know that your go signal is. That shooter ready, standby, beep, and go. Now your go signal in real life is going to be visual, so you want to see this. This is what you want to see, the back of his head if you have a 2-second, his ear if you have a 1.5, just his nose turning off if you have a 1.0. Didn't get to see that in this case. So, again, you got to find that 1.5 or above, and I think we call that a professional standard, would be good here. Tons of opportunities to launch a counter ambush and end a threat sooner. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in any of these, so final note is that compliance is an option. About 75% of the time, people who are fully compliant in armed robberies end up uninjured, and that's a pretty good number. But if you get your own gun out and you get a shot off, the Bureau of Justice statistics say it's only about a 6% chance you'll be injured, so about 4 times less. That's a better bet, in my opinion, to cover your ass.